So imagine the power grid. Imagine, a fleet of self-driving vehicles that all have to coordinate with each other. Situations that are large, distributed, decentralized, those tend to be a lot more difficult to control, mainly because there isn't a central agent that gets to have all the information and make all the decisions. In many cases, we don't actually want that. We don't want there to be a single point of failure in the power grid. Not everybody has access to the same information. So some people have more information about certain things, other people have more information about other things. And even if they're trying to cooperate and work together, it's still difficult to come up with the best possible strategies.
Basically, all of the research that we're trying to do, getting robots to make the right decisions or agents to do the kind of right decisions, that is essentially all of AI, right? Trying to learn kind of better decision-making strategies to operate in the world, and could be applied to robotics, but it could also be applied to, say, like computational agents.
But there is this connection of complexity from natural, engineered, and human systems, which needs to be harnessed and managed and translated to actionable predictive insights and action on the ground.
And it could be anything from coordinating teams of drones to better do surveillance in an area, or coordinating teams of robots in like a warehouse setting to deliver items to humans at the right time in order to efficiently build new things.
Imagine the problem of healthcare. In big data, it's when the data is collected by, for example, pharmaceutical companies, there are huge amount of millions of samples that they have, and they can apply very complex AI model on that. But imagine we want to make a very personalized medicine and personalized decision making. So from that specific person, collecting data is going to be very costly. It's going to be very difficult.
The reason that I think this is sort of important to highlight in the environmental field is big data is not here yet, and it's not likely to be here anytime soon, because it's really expensive to collect information from a highly heterogeneous environment. So I see AI and my sort of research agenda has been to apply these tools in a way that lets us tackle these challenges of understanding the environment without having to try to overcome this kind of cost problem that I don't see any other way around.
Just because the systems we're working with, including the biomolecular systems, are so complicated, and there are so many different aspects that nobody can really answer all the questions alone. And I think this is really the strength of this larger interdisciplinary efforts, where we have many experts in different areas of science. And I just hope to be in a position where I can just knock on the door of my neighbor and say, hey, have you heard about that? Or how would you deal with this type of problems?
For example, using social media data to quantify the prevalence of mental illnesses such as depression and PTSD.
I'm motivated by the objective that the Institute want to do AI, human and AI interactions, and also using a human-centered perspective. Because even though we have powerful AI techniques, we want it to be utilized by humans.
So in some sense, I see it as being impossible really to fully study human society without thinking of various AIs as now being members of society.
This university is very much about engagement with the world. So the question is, what kinds of problems do we envision the Institute working on and solving in the world? It's clear that, that some of these will be in the healthcare arena, and we're already building out within the EAI Institute and also at the RU. We're building, significant capability in terms of at the intersection of AI and healthcare. It's clear that we will be working on engineering problems writ large. It's clear that we will be focusing on social justice and criminal justice kinds of problems and seeking to have impact there. There's considerable strength in the general area of digital humanities and the application of the intersection of AI and the humanities. Really think that 5 or 10 years from now, we will be working on a whole array of high impact areas with our partners and with bringing to bear the entire university with AI as a kind of a core theme and a core technology for us.